If Kendrick previews another song like he did in the All Right video, and we don't get it, if we don't get this song that he previewed, I'm gonna go to Compton and I'm gonna find him myself and make him upload the song. Hey cousins, welcome back to my channel. I'm Moni if you are new here, and today we're going to be getting into a hidden meanings behind Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us music video explained by Pure Fountain. So I'm going to leave their information in the description below, so please go over there and show them some love. I feel as though after watching the video the first time, actually like the second time, I caught some of the meanings that were in the video, but let's see if there's something that we may have overlooked.
Kendrick's music video for Not Like Us is full of layered disses towards Drake, like this scene of him with an owl in a cage, referencing Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, implying that Drake should stick to singing over rapping, with the owl representing Drake since it's OVO's logo, and also implying Drake should be locked.
Keep in mind, that's been Kendrick's message this entire time, that he would prefer if Drake would sing instead of pretending like he's tough and that he comes from the trenches, because we all know that he don't. So
locked up for all the PDF file allegations that Kendrick talks about on the song. He's even playing hopscotch, a game that little girls play, in the scene where he says the A minor line, and dropping the video on the 4th of July, a day celebrating American independence, after doing the pop-out show on Juneteenth, proves that he planned the whole aftermath of the beef out, continuing his point about Drake being not like us, an outsider.
Kendrick Lamar definitely planned all of this out, because there's no way you do a concert on Juneteenth, which is when some of the slaves found out that they were free and no longer slaves, and then you have the music video dropping on Independence Day. So both days you basically calling him a colonizer and that he doesn't belong. And I think a few days ago was Canada's Independence Day or something like that. But Kendrick definitely had this all mapped out for, I believe, from those 2 weeks that he was missing in action. He was planning all of this down to the T.
To American rap culture, something he puts on full display when he brings out all of LA to Compton to chant this diss with him throughout the video. It especially fits with him calling Drake a colonizer, since the 4th of July was when America got freed from being a British colony. Kendrick uses LA rapper and celebrity friends throughout his pop-out concert to show the heritage and history that he comes from, that Drake tries to imitate by associating with Atlanta artists, but just can't really replicate. And some of the stars that showed up in the show made an appearance in the video to double down on that point, from Mustard, who opened for him, to DeMar DeRozan, who he name-dropped on the song since he went to go play for the Toronto Raptors.
And people are killing me about this thing with DeRozan. First of all, they're like, oh, we thought he meant D Rose as in Derrick Rose. And I'm just like, if he says, I'm glad he came home, y'all didn't deserve him neither, why would you guys think he's talking about Derrick Rose? And then two, that wouldn't make no sense. So you would think logically, oh, that doesn't make sense. You would probably go look up the lyrics to understand why he's saying what he's saying. And he's not saying D Rose, he's saying D Rose as in D Rosen. And then you have, of course, the Toronto and Drake fans who are like, oh, DeRozan is not welcome back in Toronto. I don't think he wants to go there. The only reason he needs to go there, if ever, is to play a basketball game. If whatever team he decides to sign with has to go and play in Toronto. DeRozan does not care about Toronto. So you guys saying, oh, he's not welcome back there anymore, I think he'll be just fine without being welcome back there. He's from Compton. He went for the home
Drake's
team.
hometown team, but eventually came back home to the US and made an appearance on stage during the live performance of Not Like Us. Tommy the Clown, who also performed a set before Mustard at the show, is a dancer raised in South Central LA who was legendary for inventing the form of dancing called clowning, a huge inspiration behind crumping, in response to the Rodney King riots in 1992. His movement was meant to be a healthy alternative to LA kids getting into drugs or crime, and those values.
That's another thing that low-key pissed me off about people that are like, oh, why is there a clown in the video? And I'm just like, how old are you people that you don't know who Tommy the Clown is? Like, I'm from the East Coast, Jersey to be specific. And in New Jersey, we knew who Tommy the Clown was. Like, he was that big. It wasn't just LA. People from New York, people from Jersey, they all knew who Tommy the Clown was. And the fact that people don't get these references that should be known, especially like Tommy the Clown of all people, is crazy. But then again, I got to remember, these are little kids who are saying these things most of the time. They're little kids, so they don't get the history. And also, too, he's basically saying Drake doesn't have culture, and he's giving Drake examples of the culture that he comes from in Compton in LA. Like Tommy the Clown is a big staple.
Of TDE and Black Hippie, from Schoolboy Q to J Rock to Absol to Top Dog, Punch, and Muso. And the video is 5 minutes and 55 seconds long. We all know Kendrick is always really specific with his numbers, and throughout his seasons on Degrassi, Drake was always spotted wearing 555 Soul. He recreated this video of him doing push-ups in Compton from his burner Instagram page, which he also referenced in his video for N95, a scene that Drake made fun of with his drop and give me 50 hook on the diss push-ups. Kendrick later flipped this diss against Drake on Meet the Gram, saying that he would be a better father to Adonis because he'd teach him to do push-ups and build discipline instead of taking Ozempic for weight loss. Even the fact that he did push-ups in public as a celebrity in a random park in Compton was a statement about how much his city loves him and how safe he is there, something that he's saying Drake will never have in a historical center of hip-hop like LA. He also does exactly 17 push-ups. He won 17 Grammys, and he's also saying Drake doesn't want anything over 17. The pictures are off the wall in this room that has studio speakers in it, which references Drake saying, he made direct references to some of Drake's disses on Family Matters, specifically about him domestically abusing Whitney and Dave Free being the father of his son. But these
Drake was so bad in all of this. Like, I'm only pointing this out because he used that picture of that video of We Cry Together. It is so obvious that Drake literally skimmed through Mr. Morale and took lines and just threw it at a wall and he thought it would stick. Like, you didn't really bother to go into depth of from the start to the middle to the finish of Mr. Morale. Because where in Mr. Morale did he say that he beat Whitney? Nowhere. He said he cheated on her. He cheated on her so much and she was going to leave. And he knew that he couldn't live without her. He's been with her for 20 plus years. He cheated on her, and her ultimatum was go to therapy, fix yourself, or I'm walking away. And that's exactly what he did. She's narrating literally like 50 to 75% of that album. It starts from the cheating to him getting help, both of them together, and then the breakthrough. Drake just did whatever.
Posing and dancing with Whitney and his children, right when he says the Family Matters line. And the fact that Dave Free directed the video. Whitney's even wearing a wife beater, directly referencing these allegations, something that I don't really...
To be honest, that wife beater, I've seen that like going around. That wife beater, I think, is a reach, especially because if you go look on her Instagram page or like any other type of pictures of her, she frequently wears wife beaters or that type of style of shirt, like that white shirt, sleeveless or spaghetti strap. That seems to be like a staple in her wardrobe. So I don't think she was wearing that to say wife beater like that. I don't believe that at all. And another thing is that I love the fact that she was dancing in this video because it's like she's reclaiming the things that have been said about her by Drake. He's literally putting out to the world that one, Kendrick beats the shit out of her. Two, she slept with Kendrick's best friend and she doesn't know who her baby father is. Like, you put these stigmas and these lies on this woman for no reason in order to win a rap battle. Like, I know Kendrick has said some stuff like, "Oh, you're a PDF file. Oh, then you have another secret daughter." While I believe there is a daughter because I've seen things from like a few years ago, and I also believe there's another son. If you cancel that out and say, "Okay, that's not real," the PDF allegations are legit. Like, they're not legit, but they have backings because of the information that's on the internet. Like, there's several instances of Drake being inappropriate with young women. Like, that's not just, he didn't just pull that out of the sky, but you pulled out Kendrick beating Whitney out of the sky because you half listened to Mr. Morale and you didn't understand that he didn't beat her, he just cheated on her. You also said Kendrick was molested, but that wasn't true at all as well. So it's like, I feel as though that moment for her, I was like, go Whitney, walk on his ass, like, do what you do, because this man has said these things about you. And the way that she's looking in the video, when she looks down and she looks up, she's like, yeah, I'm standing next to my family. Like, yes, this is my man. These are my children and these are his children. I love that for her.
the vignette type shot in Family Matters with this scene, and has this guy behind him in a ski mask representing Drake from his Dark Lane demo tapes album cover. In this scene, Drake is trying to catch up to Kendrick, but gets swept away right when he says the boogeyman line. And Kendrick is standing next to a guy with a Compton hat on, representing how him having a city by his side is why Drake will never catch up. He smacks the shit out of this owl pinata in some scenes, another reference to an activity little kids do at birthday parties, while also visually representing the beatdown that he's saying he gave Drake in this beef. And at the very beginning of the video, he gives us a snippet of a song with a Not Like Us type flow, potentially teasing either a remix or a preview of a song from his next album. The snippet also references Kamasi Washington, a saxophone player from LA who is featured on To Pimp a Butterfly, hinting that his next album might have some of the same jazz influences that this album was famous for. He also references The Blueprint by Jay-Z in a line about IP or intellectual property, which is kind of a response to Drake saying that he had to drop and give his label 50%, implying that what he's trying to build with PG Lang, his own label, is going to give him more control over his own music, just like Jay-Z with Rockefeller Records. This video actually reminded me a lot of the video for Alright, with the huge crowd of Compton natives singing along to Kendrick. And the music video for that also started with another song first. I don't know if this was a coincidence.
If Kendrick previews another song like he did in the Alright video, and we don't get it, if we don't get this song that he previewed, I'm gonna go to Compton and I'm gonna find him myself and make him upload the song, because I like the way that sounds, and I low-key already know the words to the song. So it's like, Kendrick, what are you doing? And I have another theory. I have another theory about that song, the way that it starts. I tweeted about it, which I'm gonna put somewhere here. Tell me if I'm reaching, but this snippet at the beginning of the Not Like Us is a continuation from the Buried Alive song that he did with Drake when they first met. Like, y'all know the 616 in LA breakdown from What's the Dirt. He basically explained how Kendrick was rapping in the perspective of Drake, and how the 616 in LA was the day that they basically met each other. I personally feel like that song was a continuation from the Buried Alive, because if you listen to the lyrics on Buried Alive, he basically say at the end of it, he say, I buried myself alive, then I died. And then he basically is responding to Drake, who put out that Buried Alive parody after 616 in LA dropped, basically saying like, something, why we wasting time? If this is how you felt or something like that, this is when you die, Crody, or something like that. Basically joking up, making a mockery of how Kendrick felt on the Buried Alive song. And so I feel like this is his response to Drake making that parody of Buried Alive, because he basically started off, I am reincarnated, I will start gazing. So I feel as though that snippet is basically a continuation to Buried Alive, and he's basically still dissing Drake, because I don't feel like though Kendrick is done. I feel like Kendrick has more in the tuck. He obviously does, because he said he has 10 songs in total. So why not just give it to us? Like, maybe this is one of those songs that he has in the tuck, and I want to see it. I want to hear it.
His fit looked mad similar to the guy from this viral video, who has a lot of the same hating energy as Kendrick on Euphoria.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, I hate the way that you dress.
Let me know if you thought this music video lived up to the hype. It got 5 million views in 4 hours, and it's looking like it might be Kendrick's biggest video of all time. And for more...
All right, so shout out to Hidden Fountain for that video. Hidden meanings behind Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us music video explained. Please let me know down in the comment section below how you feel about the video. Is there anything else like you might have missed? And do you agree with my theory that this snippet that he released is possibly a follow-up to the Buried Alive? Because I low-key feel as though it is. Yeah, I believe it is. But only time will tell. Again, please leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 1K followers. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Later.